From the News Talk STL studios in St. Louis, it's the Right Mind Show with Todd Showalter. Tonight, conservative influencer Heather Overstreet, lawyer and comedian Brian Folan, and the Right Mind Studio Band, Mitch Murphy and the Murphy Tones. Now putting the fun in your dysfunctional world, here's your host, Todd Showalter.
I typically don't come in here and say, I kind of feel sorry for the left or feel sorry for the liberals. I mean, I usually just make fun of them. It's very rare do I feel sorry for these people. But last weekend, they had the big No Kings thing all put together that they had looked forward to for so long. And they bought all George Soros' signs that he didn't buy them. They were just given those signs. And they were all looking forward to their pageantry and everything. And then for the first time in like 18 months, we got a terrible thunderstorm and rain, and it just rained and rained and rained and rained. And it literally rained on their parade. And I mean, they all got soaked, and all their No King signs were all runny, and their crowns were all melting. And it was just really, really sad after they'd planned this big No Kings thing. And it all got soaked, and I felt terrible about it. And so Okay, on the way over here, I got an idea. What if, and I don't know what the weather's supposed to be. It's Saturday now, and I think it's raining again. But, I mean, what if we were to stage or have our own, just to make them feel better, what if we had a No Queen's Day? Like a No Queen's Day. I mean, King's Day is over. There's no kings. But we could have like a No Queen's Day. And I thought maybe like, okay, here's what we do. You and I, we dress up like drag queens, okay? And then we have these signs saying, No Queen's Day, No Queen's Day. And maybe, they'll jump on board. And maybe, that'll be kind of like the birthday they never had. It'll be the celebration that they wanted but got rained out. What do you think? What if you and I stage our own No Queen's Day? Do you think in any way they'd feel a little bit better?
Maybe. I was thinking about Freddie Mercury, who is the most famous queen we've ever had.
Yes.
And he had that song about the bicycle races. And if we say no queen, then that means no more of these naked bike rides. Did you see that they were doing this as well?
They're still
to
doing
protest
that?
the greenhouse gases and climate change and, I guess, conservatives. They would have emergency naked bike rides through Portland, Oregon, and people's flaps would get caught in the spokes.
Well, you can't do that. And you're saying Portland, Oregon, because that place has just gotten to be crazyville. So you're saying,
speaking of naked bike ride, that place is nuts.
I got something in my gear. Fortunately, I have another one. Hey, I mean, but so you're saying they're riding around naked on bikes in Portland, and this could all tie in with our No Queen's Day? I love the idea, by the way, about the Queen songs. That could be our anthem. We could be playing Queen's music as you and I stand out there as drag queens with our George Soros, that he gave us, because he's going to have to give them to us too, a sign to say No Queen's Day. And if it doesn't rain, I think it could be bigger than No King's Day.
A lot of running mascara as well. I mean, that's the way they want to look, is that they're crying. A lot of the liberals that you draw in your cartoons are screaming to the heavens and crying, and it's probably because they were about to be rained on.
I think that's what it is.
These fat bottom girls.
Now we could play that. We could have fat bottom girls by Queens just bellowing as you and I are dancing around in heels and drag queen outfits and paraphernalia with our runny signs and saying No Queen's Day, No Queen's Day. And I think everybody will feel better.
These protesters are scary. So even if they went up to KMOV meteorologist Leah Hill and asked, please, could you not make it rain today?
Sure.
I've just dyed my hair blue and I don't want it to run. She would get out the mace that we gifted her when she came into the station.
Yes.
She was an excellent interview, cute as heck, and of course, great thrifter. And she would mace them right in the face because they're scary people.
I think you're exactly right. Did you hear about the big to-do with Donald Trump? Like he's building a ballroom or something, and everybody's all upset about his ballroom. By the way, I thought didn't Bill Clinton have a ballroom? I mean, that was like the Oval Office, wasn't it? Get it? That was a joke.
I know he had a cigar lounge. Was that also the ballroom?
The cigar lounge with the ballroom, all in the Oval Office. Everybody's all upset. This brings me back again to the crazy, wacky, liberal lunatics, okay? they obviously don't like to dance, okay? They're too busy just being upset and pouting about everything that they don't want to dance. Maybe if they would dance, maybe do a mambo or a tango or something like that, they'd cheer up a little bit. I think Donald Trump is trying to bring a little bit of merriment to Washington, to America, by building a ballroom. Because what do you do in a ballroom? Aside from having a ball, you dance. Am I not right?
I've looked up the East Wing that they're tearing down right now.
Yes.
And officially, they never made a TV show about that. No one cares about the East Wing. If
No.
they would have put that on the name of the show, but it's called the West Wing.
It's called the West, and they don't dance in the West Wing. They have cigars, and people get under the desk and do things.
And the East Wing is historically a place for the First Lady and her staff.
Really?
First Lady Melania, she don't need that. She's back in New York City, raising Baron Trump. So she doesn't need to waste that area with any sort of staff at all.
Right.
And Trump's going to be in office another 7 years or so?
No, he's going to be a king, apparently, so he can be in office forever.
So it's basically his house for the rest of our lives anyway.
It's for dancing. Do you know, I mean, some presidents, I heard somebody put in like a bowling alley or something. I don't know if it was Nixon or Lincoln or it could have been Thomas Jackson or one of those old guys. I don't know. But
That's also a ballroom.
He's a ballroom.
Bowling ballroom.
That's right. But, I mean, so not everybody bowls, okay, unless you look like Fred Flintstone or whatever. and so, but Donald Trump is going out of his way to put in something for people that like to celebrate and dance and have a dang good time. You know, I bet they have karaoke in that ballroom.
Have you seen his dance moves? Just the punching the air to YMCA.
I know.
Excellent dancer, Donald Trump.
I think maybe if this is what we'll do. We'll have a giant prom, okay? You're dancing over there. What is that? That's like the cat dance. You're doing the cat dance like my cat does. Like, does your cat do that?
Making biscuits, we call that.
Making biscuits, where it kind of goes into a trance. Now, you got me totally off subject, but now I'll never get back. Anyway, I think if Donald Trump were to host like a giant prom, like maybe like a government prom, and everybody, maybe bringing everybody, that's how we're going to unify. We'll all start dancing in the East Wing ballroom, and there'll be merriment, no more civil war, and we'll all live happily ever after. Or maybe not.
Donald Trump's a huge fan of music, whether the original artist likes it or not.
Right.
He released that video of him driving that plane and pooping on everyone.
I know.
With Highway to the Danger Zone, Kenny Loggins on it, and Kenny Loggins was not happy about it.
Kenny Loggins got all upset, didn't he? I mean,
and his name ties in perfectly with the poop. It's a log in that person and a log in that person over there. Everyone gets a log.
A log. And the thing is, does Kenny Loggins not understand that almost every song you've ever heard in any movie are on the radio? I mean, I think Kenny Loggins has written about 99% of every song that's out there. So what are you supposed to do? Just do happy birthday or something? That was funny. You know? I mean, Donald Trump, he's in like a fighter jet dressed as a king to danger zone, dropping poop on people. Why would Kenny Loggins have any problem with that? And as you said, Loggins. I never thought of that. Loggins, like logs, like poop logs. Yeah,
Lincoln Logs, like our president.
It ties all together, doesn't it? Yeah, everybody's upset about that too. Did you do anything for No King's Day aside from getting wet?
No, I didn't even know where to find the people at.
No, they were gone.
There weren't that many people.
Well, here's the thing.
Were there some by you protesting?
No, they weren't. I think
The neighbor across the street actually has a sign that says No Kings, but that's up all year long.
My neighbor has two signs up now. I mean, she's really gone out of her way. It was something to the effect that MAGA is a MAGA, like they're racist and they're all these terrible things. And I'm like, just move that thing. So you know what I put up in my yard, don't you? I have this giant billboard that I put up. It's just giant. It's up two butt cheeks that says "Moon's out," and yeah, that's what I point it right in her direction. Oh, I tell you,
I love going to your house. I don't know what she thinks is happening inside. Usually, it's just moldy bread dinners.
Well, I'm glad that you brought that one up because
nothing that can hurt you.
I tell you what, because I mean, you brought this up on Chris Arps the other day, and I know that. But here's the thing. Okay, you and the lovely Erica came over after the show.
We offered to cook for you at our house, and you said, nope, got a surprise.
It was
Come over here.
It was our turn. And so you came over. It was after the show, and we were going to break bread. Literally, we had to. But here's the thing. Okay, now, Laura brought out the bread, okay, that apparently my dad, he goes to this place called, it's a bakery on the hill, okay, and so he always wants to bring some type of bakery thing over. And so I said, well, bring some bread. So I thought we would crack open this bread for when you came over. Now, it just happened to have mold all over it. Okay, now, that was like a big deal. You pointed it out. Erica pointed it out. But what have I been saying now for the last 5 weeks? That I have had eye surgery, okay, and you don't want to have an infection with an eye surgery. And so we were growing our own penicillin on this bread to try to save a couple of pennies, so to speak, okay? So we're this petri dish of bakery of goods that we bring out just happened to have mold on it, and Erica noticed it. And I think you would have just dove in and eaten it, rather. Mm-hmm. I mean, she had to point out, hey, there's like a shrubbery growing on my bread here. And so then Laura gets all self-conscious. And then what do you say? You say, oh, it'll go great with the funeral muscatoli? Because I was serving muscatoli. What did you call it?
Whenever I see that much muscatoli, it was in a bucket
that
you pulled out of the oven. Right. I think, funeral must be coming around because nobody makes this much muscatoli for 4 people.
Right. Well, you see, okay, and rather than just taunt us about it and make Laura feel so horrible, and I think she was crying underneath the bathroom.
It was a private joke between friends.
It's okay. I told her to lighten up, and I think she's still under the sink. I explained, what the reason that we had the funeral muscatoli after the molded bread is because you have the bread with mold on it for penicillin in case you're sick, okay? But if that doesn't work, you're going to die, and so now you need the funeral muscatoli. You see, it goes hand in hand, all right? And rather than make a big to-do about it, no, that's all that I heard about. Oh, why did we have to bring out the moldy bread and the funeral muscatoli? And I said, because they're like our best friends. That's who you celebrate with. And that's what we did.
We are actually professional talkers, and so it gives us something to joke about. You imagine how boring life would be if we just stayed home and didn't go to protests and just bran all day.
Exactly. I mean, it's like last week when we were talking about the Mel Robbins thing. Mel. And
motivational speaker Mel Robbins.
Well, my wife, she had just about crawled into the couch cushion when she heard us talking about Mel, because did I not tell you right before we started the show, we get this knock. That's the knock. And it's the postman. Hello, we're actually here today. And the postman shows up with a package. And guess what is in the package that the postman brought?
I can't even guess. Bills?
No. Well, that's always the case. 2, not 1, 2 Mel Robbins Let Them T-shirts. And I said, what in the double hockey sticks is this? And she said, well, these are from my sister. They're addicted to Mel, and then we follow Mel's cult. And she went ahead, and I said, look, you have not bought one of my Stay Weird shirts. You haven't bought any of my I'm Offended shirts. You haven't bought any toxically masculine shirts, but you buy Mel's T-shirts. And she said, well, we can actually wear these. And that hurt more than anything.
Hopefully the algorithm works out for us and those sisters get served up our episode, because I actually titled it, Who the Hell is Mel Robbins?
I noticed that.
And then I think just by sheer luck, if they're on YouTube searching for more Mel Robbins stuff, it should pop up. And they listen to the first 18 minutes of last week's show, and they'll see that they are in a cult.
We've got this new upcoming conservative influencer, which there aren't a lot of, but I think you're going to hear and see more of them. Her name's Heather Overstreet. She's from Columbia, Missouri. My wife just loves her. She said, you got to check this person out. I did, and boy, she's a fiery thing. She's really conservative. She's patriotic, and she's going to get her big national break here on the Right Mind Show.
If the wife likes her, then I like her.
There you go. But you don't like the bread she serves because it had mold all over it.
I also don't like Mel Robbins.
You don't like
this
Mel
rule
Robbins.
Isn't really standing firm.
Kind of stuff. Yeah, between my wife bringing out the bread and her taste in gurus, she's kind of falling apart. But maybe to cheer things up will be, get this segue, Brian Folan. Remember him? He's out in Philly, and they're fighting for us as far as trying to kill as many people as they do in St. Louis. But he's going to try to cheer us up. He's our comedian lawyer, a lawyer comedian. Those two are like water and oil, like vegan in a butcher shop. But I think he does a pretty good job. At least we're going to find out. What were you going to throw in here? You wanted to say something.
Well, I just finished this wonderful TV show on HBO about Philly police.
Yeah.
It's called Task. And I made a list of words that they say stupid over there in Philly. So I'd like to quiz him and see how he says some of these words.
Oh, do. That would be great.
Of course, you have water, right?
Water?
But say the word wood. Say wood.
Wood.
And say wooder.
Wooder.
That's how they say water over there.
Wooder.
Wooder. Can I have a glass of wooder?
Wooder. That's like down in South St. Louis, Highway 40. Highway 40. Yeah. Highway 40. Something's in the zinc at Highway 40.
We're going to ask if this is illegal, what they're doing down there with the English language. Butchering it.
Hey, in the meantime, I'm Todd Showalter, along with my bestest buddy, Joey V. Mitch in the background, getting all ready for his big comeback number. This is The Right Mind Show. We'll be right back.
Coming up next on The Right Mind Show with Todd Showalter, conservative influencer Heather Overstreet. Welcome back to The Right Mind Show with Todd Showalter on News Talk STL. And now a man who is such a neat freak, he'd actually prefer it if you didn't smash that like button. I mean, he just finished vacuuming. Come on. Todd Showalter.
And we're back. I'm Todd Showalter, along with my bestest buddy, Joey V. And hey, Joey, guess who's on the phone now? I mean, I told you, my wife, she checked her out on Instagram. We got Heather Overstreet on the line here. How are you, Heather? And tell us, what's it like to be an up-and-coming conservative influencer?
Oh, well, I mean, so I just have a whole lot of random things I like to do, you know. I'm learning how to fly planes, so I flew this morning, and then I'm a business owner, so I was dealing with all that. And
yeah, sure.
So, you know, being an up-and-coming conservative female, I mean, to be honest, I really enjoy it. I've been doing it for about a year now. The first year was kind of rough.
Right.
I'm not going to lie. I just received a lot of negative feedback and hate and stuff, but I guess God gave me some sort of gift, you could say, because their hate fuels me. So I just kept going. And then all of a sudden I started picking on Columbia, Missouri, because they got a blue-haired mayor over there that's super woke. And
well, and that's what caught my attention when I was checking out your stuff. I know Columbia, Missouri, and I'll be honest with you, I've said this on other shows. I wouldn't let my kids go to Mizzou because it got so woke and everything. It's a lot different than when I was there way back in the Civil War era. But, I mean, it's gotten crazy in Columbia. You're calling people out on it, and I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, it's really gone totally nutso out there. Are you in Columbia? Are you outside of Columbia? Or what is your involvement with that whole community?
Right. So I was born there, and then I was raised in the surrounding areas. So Harrisburg, Fayette, Boonville.
Okay.
I'm in Boonville now. The reason I don't have my business over there is because the ordinances are very challenging for small businesses, especially. And COVID, you know, how Columbia handled COVID was how I got somewhat interested into politics. And
right.
So,
sure.
Yeah, then when Charlie Kirk got murdered,
mm-hmm.
my videos just started taking off.
Right.
And then Columbia they were continuing to goof off with their woke, you know, what they got going on over there.
Sure.
And so I just started picking on this blue-haired, where's the manager haircut looking lady that said that she was the mayor. And then next thing you know, everybody else was thinking the same thing that I am. And
right.
So they were like, we like Heather. She says what we think. And I'm like, great. So I just started digging into it, and turns out they got BEI and the whole shebang. And yeah, that's how my videos started taking off, really.
Well, they are taking off, and that's just the thing. I think you hit on something that I talk about every once in a while, and that's I think there are more conservatives out there than we know about. I mean, we have a lot of people that say, I don't want to make a big stink. I don't want to do anything. I'm just going to keep quiet. But when somebody like yourself, especially from a younger generation, comes out and starts, you know, saying what we've all been thinking this whole entire time, I mean, all of a sudden, I mean, there's a reaction to it, isn't there? And I think that's what you're getting, and I'm thrilled that somebody, you know, you're from a younger generation, obviously. It's great to see people like yourself with common sense and logic actually speaking their mind. I mean, I take it though you've gotten some backlash, haven't you?
Yeah, definitely. The biggest backlash I faced was back in May. And I got canceled like 4 times, and they were trying to take down my business and stuff. And it actually started because I made fun of the No Kings protest. I called them a bunch of dorks, and it hurt their feelings. So they thought that going after my livelihood was appropriate. But, you know, luckily I didn't give up. Like I said, I think I played too much Call of Duty to let their hate not fuel me. So,
yeah. So what's your business? Now, how could they try to what type of business were they trying to cancel?
So I own Top Dog USA. It's a dog boarding and daycare facility.
Okay.
And I started this business when I was 16 years old, and I'm 25 now.
Uh-huh.
And I've such a lovely team. I hire high schoolers and college students, and I help teach a lot of them how to have their first job.
Neat.
And so this is the start of their careers. And so they basically review bombed Top Dog. And they're not customers, obviously, because if you're a customer, you know that we take great care of you and your dog.
Sure.
But, they just review bombed it. They're like, she hates freedom of speech and the owner's a bigot and all this crazy stuff. So, that happened in May. And I still can't get all the reviews down. I got like probably 20 of them gone.
And you're talking about your Google reviews, right?
Oh, yeah, on Google Maps.
Yeah.
On Facebook, I just turned them off.
Oh, yeah.
But Google Maps has, so that's what they like to do on their downtime.
Oh no! Well, that's exactly what they do. I mean, it's exactly what they do. I mean, I fall into the same category because again, I'm a cartoonist and I have an animation studio, and so I mean, you've got I have Todd Showalter Productions. Okay, so they went on there and they just start trashing everything, right and left. And you got people that don't know right from wrong. I mean, it's so people go on there. I'm like, I've never even met these people. I've never worked with these people. But that's what and you're saying they did the same thing to you. Don't you find? I mean, I don't know. I mean, in some ways, it's a badge of honor. I mean, especially if you're a conservative, patriotic American, which you are. I mean, to show that you have that much influence, that you have that. If you can cause that kind of reaction, at the same time, don't you kind of feel like, well, maybe I have the upper hand here?
Absolutely. Like I said, their hate fuels me. And, with social media specifically, like the internet in general, any PR is good,
sure. Yeah.
So when they're doing that, they're giving me engagement and stuff. It's boosting my videos. And so one of my greatest accomplishments from all of this is when Charlie Kirk was murdered, I held an event here in Cooper County. I scheduled it in less than 48 hours, and I got 90 people to show up, and I got the news to come out and everything, and I just pulled that out of thin air. So and we didn't have one protester show up. So a lot of these people only exist online, and they just try to inflate everything because that's all they have is the internet. So, this whole No Kings thing too, they said, oh, there's 7 million people. It's like, yeah, all right, take a zero off the end of that, maybe.
Sure. Well, they're cowards too. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, they're bullies and they're cowards, and the biggest bully in the world. All the bullies are cowards. Okay, that's usually their low self-esteem that gets them to the point they are. You bring up Charlie Kirk, and that definitely was a transformative time for a lot of people. I mean, explain how you. I mean, especially being you said 25 and he's in his 30s. How did you react to all that? And you say it propelled you to do some of the things you're doing now, but I mean, do you think that's gonna? You think that whole movement it's gonna grow bigger and bigger now that because of that unfortunate incident?
Absolutely. When that happened, what's crazy is 1 week maybe before he was murdered, my boyfriend, he really likes listening to Charlie, and I was never really the biggest fan of those street style interviews and stuff like that. It's just not really my thing. Mm-hmm. So I was a little bit critical of Charlie. I was like, I don't know if I like it. And my boyfriend goes, you just got to listen, Heather. Just listen to him. And I said, okay, I'll listen to him. And I fell in love. I was like, oh my gosh, this dude is so courageous. It's so nice to see somebody agree to disagree and to talk with people that look different, talk different, think different, and to try and facilitate dialogue. And so a week after I was watching his videos, I saw that video of him that was so graphic.
Yeah. And
it was, I don't know if traumatizing is the right word to use.
Oh, no.
But I was like, this is like a Civil War move.
Yeah.
Like, what is that? So, because I thought during COVID, that was pretty Civil War-y, I was like, man, this is super oppressive. And then to see a man on my phone get murdered the way that he did, I was like, oh my gosh, over speech. You know what I mean? So it's one thing to get censored and review bombed and all that stuff, which is very terrible. But then to see these people acting out their fantasies on their, online was just crazy.
Well, yeah, and you're in Columbia, Missouri, which I believe has become a petri dish of socialism. And so I actually have relatives, nieces, nephews, things like that. I was at Mizzou, way back, in the 80s, and it was a different environment. As things move on, it's become to the point now where I know friends and kids of friends and, my own, people, like I said, that I'm related to, that have gone in there with a regular, solid, mind and head on their shoulders, and come out as borderline communist. And so you've got like this whole indoctrination where we're not so much talking about, and liberal arts is great, okay, if you want to learn about different things, but you shouldn't be indoctrinated. What is it like where you are? I don't know how embroiled you are with the actual University of Missouri culture, but what is that like? Is it just? Have you from your side or your perspective, have you actually seen people actually turn more towards this crazy woke socialist side that used to be normal?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I have a friend actually, and I've been friends with her since I was 8 years old, and she's just like me. We grew up in the sticks. And we're homeschooled, and we were taught to fear God, and she went to college, and now she thinks she's a man. She's 5'1". There's no way. So I just, it's very sad. The biggest thing I can say is it's sad. I think a lot of people perceive my criticisms and observations of things like the LGBT and other woke ideology groups as judgment. And it's just some good old-fashioned agree to disagree and criticism, which is necessary for the growth of society. But, they view it as judgment. And it's not judgment. It's just, like you said, there's right and wrong, and it's important to acknowledge that, So, and yes, I have seen it. I've seen it in Columbia way too much. I've had so many people messaging me and telling me how they lost their daughter to Mizzou. They lost their son to Mizzou. And what they mean by that is the woke. The woke has taken them over. And unfortunately with Columbia, the biggest issue is a lack of a backbone.
Right.
People that won't stand up for what's right. They cannot face criticism. They cannot face cancel culture, which is facilitated by lies. They can't stand up to these things, so they fall to them. So
what do you think that is? What you just think they're afraid of losing their jobs, losing friends? Because you would think when you're talking about something like logic, okay, like you brought up, for example, okay, the whole gender issue, okay. Now, there's really 10 years ago, maybe even 5 years ago, there's no question about this. You're a guy, you're a woman. If you want to identify as something, that's fine, but you're biologically not. Now, it's okay if you don't agree that there's like 600 genders, which is just totally ludicrous and stupid. Now you're the one that has something wrong with you. Why do you think people are so afraid just to stand up and say what everybody knows is true, but they're afraid to say it? Why are we going along with this fictitious, goofy narrative? And I think it's stopped somewhat since Donald Trump came in office, thank God. But why would anybody go along with this?
My short answer and my best answer that I have is money. I think when you're looking at the college, that's what the kids like. And then the kids are what are giving you money. I say kids, but they're grown 20-year-olds. But that's, they want money. And if you look at Columbia as the city, if you take their fiscal year 2024, look how much money that they have for these government activities, as they call them, or DEI, or look at how many people they've hired based off of DEI that equal to $1 million a year, damn near. And, I just think money makes people do crazy things. I really do. I think it's just good old fashioned greed is what it is. People throw their morals out the window for a few extra dollars. That's what I think. Do you
have any goals in the next couple of years of where you'd like to go with, your whole influencer type of role, so to speak?
Yeah. I love the political commentary. I'd love to continue to grow that. I like being a guest at different things, whether I'm speaking at a Republican event or a guest on a radio. I really enjoy it. I think truth conquers. And so if you could ask me where would I want to be in 2 years, it would just be to be where I am now, just still spreading the truth. And, hopefully I can just continue to do that, because it does take a lot of time and it doesn't necessarily give me revenue. It's just something where my heart is. And, that's probably my best answer.
Well, and I can guarantee you this, going down that road, you're going to have a lot of stuff thrown at you. You're going to have a lot of threats thrown your way, a lot of things that people are going to try to bully you with. I hope you'll continue to stand up against those and know that they're just, shallow things, and these people are all cowards when it comes down to it. How can people follow you? So I know you're on Instagram. Tell us what your handles are, so to speak, on the different social media platforms.
Absolutely. If you just look up my name, Heather Overstreet, I'm on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and I am slowly working on YouTube. I hope to have a show on there.
I was going to say you should. That'd be great. And when you have when that happens, I want you to come back and tell us about it so we can promote it some more. Okay?
Absolutely, I would love that. Thank you so much.
All right, Heather. Well, we look forward to hearing and seeing more of you. Again, congratulations on everything, and I hope that you as a result, more people will follow your path. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
That's Heather Overstreet. What do you think of that? I mean, she's conservative. She's an American. She shoots guns, too. I mean, I saw on some of her reels, she's out there shooting like, I don't know if it's AR-15 or one of those, wacky guns. But, no, she's just like, she brings me, I mean, when my wife brought her to my attention, it's refreshing. You realize, hey, not everybody out there on social media is crazy. And there are a few of us, but, it makes you feel like, are we in the minority? Or are we not?
I love that she does her due diligence because you reached out and you said, please, please, please.
Yes, I did.
Come and influence me on my radio show. And she said, let me check you out. You don't sound sane at all.
That's exactly
I don't
right.
think you're on a conservative radio station and you're delusional.
That's exactly what happened.
She had 4 phone calls with you just to make sure, and I still don't think she's convinced you're not crazy.
Well, it wasn't 4. She was a phone call, and she got in touch with me via text, and she wanted to make sure that I wasn't just some wacky, wacky DJ out there, trying to do like the wacky liberal stuff and try to what do they call it, maybe sabotage her. And so I didn't want to do that. And there's no way. I mean, so she checked it out and make sure, and when she saw my Facebook profile and she says I'm an older guy with a mullet, she figured, this guy has to be a conservative, normal guy.
Yeah, she saw all the pieces of poop with eyeglasses and sunglasses on that people were posting on your cartoons, and she knew that someone who gets this much hate must be a conservative, and she saw a kindred spirit. I thought we were going to have to take her down a notch because I thought she was infringing on our territory.
What do you mean?
Todd Dogs.
That's what I thought.
But her company is named Top Dog USA. They do boarding for dogs. Kennels, boarding, grooming.
Yes.
So Todd Dog, we just sell hot dogs.
We do sell hot dogs.
We do not groom dogs. We do not store dogs. We could get in there.
What if... Now, there's something we could start. What if we get back in touch, like right now, we got a number. What if they sold...
A collab, as they say.
Yeah, they sold Todd Dogs at Top Dog. What do you think of that?
We could move some merch. It's mostly a T-shirt play. Todd Dog.
Maybe we could be as big as Let Them with Mel Robbins. We could outsell her T-shirts. I don't know. I do know this, though. We're going to find out things are in Philly while they talk crazy out there and what's happening in the legal comedy world, which I didn't know existed, but we're going to find out when Brian Folan joins us next. He's a comedian and a lawyer, and he's in Philadelphia. And it should be really kind of interesting. Did you have something you wanted to throw in there?
I have another lesson for speaking Philly.
Okay,
so
what is it?
One is say good.
Good.
Say gooder.
Gooder.
That's how they say gutter over there. Your mind is in the gooder.
So you're basically, this guy's going to come on from his hometown Philly to try to, promote his comedy and law practice and everything. And you're just basically going to insult and make fun of the way that they talk. I love this. This is going to be the best segment we've had in a long time.
I watched a 7-hour-long episode of TV called Task on HBO, and I could not stop laughing in between the motorcycle gang murders because they just talk so silly over there.
Well, I had no idea they talk silly like that. You mean like a Boston accent? What is... So
the Philly accent,
A Philly accent. Like Rocky Balboa? Because Rocky was from Philly, wasn't he?
He's got a speech impediment, too.
He does. So they all have speech impediments, and they don't know how to pronounce the English language. I had no idea. That's great if you're a stand-up comedian and can't talk.
It's a crime.
Yeah, it is. Well, we'll find out when we come back. In the meantime, I'm Todd Showalter, along with my bestest buddy in the whole world, Joey V. This is The Right Mind Show. We'll be right back.
Coming up next on The Right Mind Show with Todd Showalter, lawyer and comedian Brian Folan. Welcome back to The Right Mind Show with Todd Showalter on News Talk STL. And now a man who is currently sitting at home alone on his throne, crowning. Todd Showalter.
Hey, we're back. I'm Todd Showalter, along with my bestest buddy, Joey V. And on the line now is Philly's hottest lawyer and stand-up comedian and someone who actually knows how to pronounce words right in Philadelphia, because Joey here says that they don't talk right in Philadelphia. Brian Folan, how are you, my friend?
Great. How are you doing, Todd? Great to hear from you.
Thank you. I just can't let you say anything because this thing is on my mind now because Joey, my buddy here, he just will not stop talking about how people in Philadelphia don't know how to talk right. And I didn't know what he was talking about. Joey, what words? He's watching some show called Task or something, and they don't know how to talk, and they're from Philadelphia. Is this true, or is he just high?
I think he's just missing the subtitles. He needs to just get some subtitles, and he'll understand Philadelphia perfectly.
Oh, tweak them right in the nipples, and the subtitles will appear on their chest.
Is that what happens? Tweak them in the nipples. Okay. Wow. Okay. I don't know. Well, okay, Brian, how are things going? I mean, we could start with either the legal side, because you're an attorney and you're a stand-up comedian. It's kind of like, peanut butter and jelly. They go together. How are things in both of those worlds?
They're great. And I guess covering, both of them, I woke up this weekend, after Saturday, so glad that the No Kings protest worked. We don't have a king.
I know.
And
I know.
Never seen such a successful protest in my life, and there we are.
You're right, because here's the thing. I thought the last king we had, if you wouldn't even call him that, was Bumbling Joe. I mean, he acted like a king. And now they're coming out saying, like, no kings. And you're right. So I think maybe it was their fanaticism or whatever, that they're having these, maybe they scared the future kings away because we don't have a king. And it didn't make any sense. And here in St. Louis, everybody got rained on, so that was even funnier. But what was it like in Philly? I mean, were people as nutty there they are here?
They were, from what I heard. I was actually up in New Hampshire, in Keene, New Hampshire, which was strange because that's where I was at the last No Kings. So I'm probably on some list of people who traveled to Keene for No Kings.
Yeah.
But I was up there, and No Kings coincided with their annual pumpkin festival. So I wasn't sure of that. Like, I saw a bunch of people walking around in witch costumes.
Yeah.
And I thought they were from the No Kings.
Oh, so it got confusing with pumpkins.
It got very confusing. Absolutely. So, it was weird. And then all the pumpkin heads, I didn't know if that was like the heads of people the king cut off for protesting, right?
Oh, so it's quite confusing.
Happen.
Yeah.
Absolutely confusing. I didn't know what to do. So, but I was amazed because I was reflecting. I was up there for the last No Kings on June 14th. And then I was thinking, like, why are they doing this again? Like, they succeeded last time. We still don't have a king. And then they're talking about Trump. And, he's done a lot of things since June 14th. Like, he bombed Iran, which a lot of people, say prevented them from developing nuclear capability or, getting along toward that. He freed the hostages in Gaza. He's been blowing up Venezuelan drug boats, which actually the Nobel Peace Prize winner for Venezuela supports him doing.
Yeah.
He's dealt with the government shutdown. The economy's doing well. He's been winning court cases to bring the National Guard in to places like Portland. He's reduced crime in Washington. And I sit there and I'm like, what are these guys? Like, they're so tone deaf at this point. Like, most people are very happy about these things since June, and these guys are out protesting.
Well,
you're like, okay.
I think what it is, I mean, and I've kind of got a theory on this, but I think I'm right. I think, because they have all these George Soros, pop-up protest kits. And he'd already had all these signs made and all these things. And it was like, we can't let these go to waste. Let's have we'll do an encore type. They're like, well, we don't need it. We don't really have a king. No, we've got all these pre-made George Soros signs. We got to get so I think that's what it is. They just didn't want them to go to waste. Do you think that could have anything to do with it?
I do. That's actually a really good observation because I think they didn't get as big a turnout in the summer as they wanted. And then they probably had all these extra signs lying around. Again, they didn't take the win.
Yeah.
Right? There's no king. They could have taken the win, but they decided to go at it. And then the signs I saw, they have contradictory signs, and I was looking on the internet to see the AP story about it, and they had all these photos, that are there so newspapers can use them. And there's my favorite one has a guy, he's holding up a sign with Trump's face, and it says "Stop the Hate." And then right next to him is a guy who has a sign that's like the one with "Stop the Hate" looks like Soros paid a lot to have it done. It's pretty nice. Then there's a handwritten one, which could be, who knows if it's just made to look like handwriting, but this guy writes, so it's right next to "Stop the Hate." This guy's holding up one. It says, "Nobody paid me to be here. I hate the orange Caesar for free."
Oh yeah, well they have those. Those are all pre-made at the liberal woke dollar store. I mean, those are all in the. They have those, and have you noticed? Here's what I find funny, Brian, is you've got these. Oh, we're going to put this demonstration together, but these signs. I mean, the penmanship on these things are immaculate. Right. They have their own logo, so they have branding. Okay, so they've got this whole brand here with like a crazy Burger King crown crossed out. Everything is immaculately put together. Everything is choreographed. But this is just like a pop-up protest. No, and half of these people, a lot of them are paid. Okay, and so they're out there.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And they couldn't even get a good crowd for that. So I mean, who is putting this all together? Because I don't want them planning anybody's wedding anytime soon because nobody will show up. I mean, who are these event planners? Who's putting this stuff together?
Absolutely. And I still can't get how they picked, we talked about it a while ago, how they picked no kings. I mean, these guys, they really did have their king, right? Like you mentioned in the beginning, Joe Biden was treated like a sick king.
Right,
people covered up that he was sick. All these people lied about it. And then, they chose his successor. They didn't let the people vote for his successor. They chose.
Yeah.
And I'm like, they're the ones complaining about a king. I'm like, you guys had one. I don't get it.
Well, they're oblivious. I mean, it's totally oblivious. And I think they'll just believe what anybody just tells them to believe. Okay, this is what you're going to believe today. And they, like you said, they'll throw any type of, like real common sense out the window. I mean, I don't think it matters. When you're doing your stuff on stage, though, now I'm assuming, because we've had Chrissy Mayer and other people on that, they get like some heat from the audience and stuff. Do you do with your material? I mean, do you get into politics? I mean, you take any heat from the audience? I mean, because she does, and I assume if you go down that road, you do too. I mean, how does that work?
Yeah, I do. I do a little bit more. Like one thing I had to say, because I've gotten so much heat from the audience about stuff that I wouldn't even think was anything objectionable. Like sometimes I would see people not sure if they should laugh. Like sometimes I'll introduce a joke. I'll say, this next joke's about race.
Yeah.
And like people, like, oh my God, I don't know if I'm supposed to laugh. Am I allowed to laugh? Yeah. And that's how they look, and they just kind of look bewildered. And very often they'll look at people around them to see if they can laugh. So I've tried to do stuff that's more, like just, say bad stuff about the government or pull out some crazy stuff, because, you can divide the audience so much. But the worst is, what I find is the people who are Trump haters, they just plow ahead, assuming everyone else is. I'm like, no, like statistically, you're wrong. For one, I mean, he won the popular vote, so why are you here assuming like that? That's part of the arrogance. So I get some heat and pushback, but it's I try to do a little bit of stuff, but it's so it gets so unpleasant because their humor is just not there. Like they won't laugh at anything sometimes if they think they're not supposed to. And these are people who they don't have a solid base of reality to work from. To begin with, everything's changing. Like they can't tell the difference between a president and a king.
Yeah.
They're living in a different reality news-wise. I talk to people. I have friends from all over the spectrum. I talk to people, and some of the things that I'll mention, they look at me like I'm insane, like they don't believe it ever happened.
Okay, well, hey, can anybody check you out online? Where can they see you? I mean, if they can't make it to Philly, where can they go?
Yeah, I'm Philly, and they can check me out on Facebook, Brian Folan.
Okay.
And our comedy at Melolani Cafe, Malelani Cafe.
Okay.
In Philadelphia.
We'll talk soon. All right. Bye bye.
All right. No kings.
No queens. No queens.
No queens. No queens.
There you go.
No jokers. No jokers.
Right. Yeah, aces, whatever. It doesn't matter. King,
right.
Whatever. Tell you what, I'm starting to think halfway through the conversation, I think we got to get Rich Rubino in on the maybe Rich, Brian. We could have our own. What do they call it? The three. What are those guys?
The original kings of comedy.
The original.
More kings.
No more kings. The new original kings with Rich Rubino, Chrissy Mayer, and Brian Folan, and of course us as the MCs, along with Anthony Rogers, if we can get some porn involved. What do you think?
I think that's perfect. Here's some more words I was going to test on our
we didn't
Philly
get a chance.
expert. Now, what happens is they do this thing where they stretch out syllables that aren't there.
Demonstrate.
So I'm going to call you on the phone
Okay.
to discuss smoking dope out of a potato.
And this is how they talk.
This is how they talk on the show Task, which is almost documentary style.
I may have to actually watch this show. Is this like a dramedy? Is it it's not a documentary. It's like a real, like a show. Like
Mark
actors.
Ruffalo's in it, and he's a cop.
I hate him. It's got that Mark Ruffalo. I'm sorry. Now,
I'm so sorry. I can't separate the art from the artist.
I'm sorry. I can. Okay, yeah, like Robert De Niro. Okay, now he's a real a-hole. Okay, but he's a good actor. I'll watch him and stuff. And, The Godfathers, he does that thing with his face that you're doing right now, especially when he smiles. He has the goofiest smile and weird. Yeah, exactly. It looks like he farted or something. Anyway, he drives me crazy, but he's a good actor. Mark Ruffalo, I can't. The guy is he bugs me. I'm sorry. I just can't even watch him. And so he's in this show.
He's trying to take down a motorcycle gang that keeps getting their dope stolen.
Does he talk like this, too?
No, he doesn't do the accent.
He doesn't talk like this. Where is he from? Is he from,
He's from Philly also. He just decided not to do the accent.
So he's an actor he's supposed to be from Philly. He doesn't act like he's from Philly. Does he do any woke crap in this thing? No, he doesn't.
No, he's an alcoholic.
He's an alcoholic that's woke.
Adopting kids all over the place.
Okay, but he's still Mark Ruffalo, right? It's not like he's not some guy playing Mark Ruffalo.
He used to be a pastor. Yeah.
He used to be a pastor.
He looks exactly like Mark Ruffalo.
Okay, so it actually is him, not somebody playing Mark Ruffalo. Mm-hmm. I can't watch it. Can't do it. I'm sorry. I've just called me crazy because I am, but I can't do it.
When you go home, you're going to go to the Wawa, get some water, and smoke some dope.
I'm gonna have to watch it just so I can start talking. And the next show, in
between the murders, it's just so funny.
Who says that? What accent is that?
It's kind of like Fargo, where they got the stupid up north accent there.
Oh yeah. No, that's Canada. That's Canada. All right, would you have a good time today?
I had a wonderful time. Just whacking the tambourine back there,
Mitch.
He's
whacking. That's not what he's whacking back there, buddy. Put that away. Oh. Let him back for one show and he gets that dang thing out. Go play in your ballroom. Not that ballroom either. Well, you know what I always say, don't you?
I forgot.
If you don't have a right mind, you don't have a mind at all. Until next time, I'm Todd Showalter, along with my bestest buddy in the whole world, Joey B, and Mitch in the background out playing with his ballroom. This is The Right Mind Show. Until next time, bye-bye.
Thanks for tuning in to The Right Mind Show with Todd Showalter. To find out about all things Todd, go to toddsprod.com. We will see you next Saturday night at 5 p.m. right here on 101.9, 94.1 News Talk STL, and always streaming online at newstalkstl.com.